I purchased the Smashbox foundation in, this is the Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, and I wanted to review this product and see how it worked. The coverage is supposed to be really well, which is the reason why I purchased it. I am currently breaking out quite a bit, so coverage for me is really important. So I thought now is the best time to actually try it and see if it works and see how well it covers. So I'm going to first start off by moisturizing my skin. I'm using the Neutrogena water gel with sunscreen, and it's got SPF 15. I'm going to try this Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. Let's see how well this works underneath it. I haven't tried this primer, so let's see how well it works. Since this is supposed to be a gel type of foundation, I'm not sure how well it's going to work with a sponge. So I think I'm going to try it with a brush instead, and then I will probably finish blending it out with a sponge. So I'm just going to take a couple of pumps of it onto my hand. That should be about enough. And usually what I do is I dot it onto my face. And everywhere basically. I don't really like to put it in this area because I put concealer there anyways, so just so that it doesn't look too cakey in that area. So let's see. It seems pretty sheer to me. I don't know if I didn't use enough or if this brush is eating the product, but for me right now it's looking pretty sheer, so you can still see my breakouts there, and up here looks like it did nothing for me, so putting on a little bit more and seeing if that helps out the situation. I honestly don't see this foundation doing much for my skin. The color matches really well, and in the areas where I don't really have any problems, it looks fine, but coverage right now is not looking too promising. I think I can still see the redness peeking through, and I probably should have done some color correction, but I have other foundations that I can use without color correcting, and it covers just fine, but this one doesn't seem to really be doing much for me. So I'm gonna see if it's buildable. So I have this new sponge. Might as well try it out and see how it works as well. In my haul, I showed it. It's this blending sponge. Okay, I wet the sponge, and surprisingly it did get pretty soft. Try going in with a little bit more with the sponge, and let's see how this works. So it does build up nicely, but I still don't see it really covering. I can still see my breakout. I am going to try using a concealing brush specifically for the areas where I need that coverage. 'Cause everywhere else, the foundation is looking pretty good. It looks like your skin, which I like, a natural finish type of foundation. So if I can just get it to cover, I think this would be a really good foundation. I'm going to use just a little concealing brush, and I'm going to try to spot conceal with the foundation. So I'm still building up the foundation on areas where I have breakouts and seeing how well it can cover. More like an everyday kind of foundation. It is pretty lightweight and it's not full coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. Now, if I went over with a second layer, I'm not exactly sure what kind of coverage, but I feel like you shouldn't have to do that. I feel like if you're going to market a foundation to be a long wear foundation, it says stay flawless, so I'm assuming that the coverage is supposed to be pretty good on this one. I just don't see it with this so far. But we'll see how long it wears, see how long it can hold. Now, the areas where I did put more foundation, I'm going to set that with powder to make sure that those areas specifically don't move. So I'm going to use my Urban Decay powder and set those areas specifically so that the foundation doesn't move while I work on the rest of my face. So my camera died and I felt like I needed to brush my mane, so I just styled my hair. I did let it set. It looks really nice. I've been under the lights and it doesn't look like it's moved. It still looks pretty set. It's not shiny, it's not oily. The coverage looks like you could get a pretty full coverage in the areas where, you know, I have my acne spots. I was able to spot conceal with just the foundation, and that seemed to work, and it covered it very well after I set it with a powder. It hasn't moved even after I put the bronzer and I put the blush and the contour shade. It stayed put, so far I do really like it. I'm gonna wear it throughout the day and see how it looks, and I will check in with you guys at the end of the day and let you guys know my final thoughts on this foundation and if I think it's worth the purchase. So I just want to give a quick update on the foundation and how it has held up. It's been a few hours. I applied my makeup at 1:30 and it's about 6 o'clock right now, and I do notice some oiliness in the T-zone area, which I mean happens with almost every single foundation that I try, but pretty much the foundation actually looks better as I've worn it. I think that it's a great foundation. I am going to keep it because I do really like it. I did find that by spot concealing with the concealer brush with the added foundation, I didn't need to use additional concealer. The foundation was able to build up in those areas just fine. So for me, I think it's a really good foundation. I really like how it's set on the skin. It looks really natural. It does not feel heavy. I have really oily skin, and I mean really oily skin, and it's worked out for me. So if you're oily and you're looking for a foundation, I would say give it a try. I liked it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope that I provided enough information on this foundation. This was my personal experience and how it worked for me. So hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight on the product and how well it works. And that's all I have for this video and this review. If you have any questions for me, you can leave them down at the bottom bar. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!